What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about the mindset that's holding a lot of you guys back, and that's this sort of a scarcity mindset. A lot of you guys, a lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of people have a mindset of scarcity, and the opposite of a scarcity mindset is an abundance mindset. And once you learn to hack your brain, hack your mind into thinking in terms of abundance, the world sort of opens up for you. It really does, because the world is ever evolving, ever changing, ever expanding, ever growing. And so are you. I mean, being part of the world, you too are ever changing, ever growing. So, just understand that and really believe that, and understand that, the world is changing every single day, and there's new opportunities every single day. You're going to meet new people every single day. You're going to be confronted with new challenges every single day. And the point I'm trying to make is that when you look at life through this narrow, limiting lens of scarcity, you think that, every failure is this huge setback. Every setback, you'll never come back from. You know what I mean? And let's say, for example, you start a business and you're working on it for like 3 months and it fails, and you lose a bunch of money and you lose clients. You may even lose some friends in the process. I don't know. But let's say you work on this business for 3 months and it fails, right? If you have a scarcity mindset, you're going to realize, like, damn, that business was my entire life. That was my entire life for the past 3 months. So now that business has failed, I'm out of money, I'm out of resources, like, my life is over, basically. And even if you do start a new business, it might take you another 6 months to start a new business. It might take you a couple years to start a new business. Whereas if you have an abundance mindset, you realize, all right, that business failed. Yeah, that was 3 months of my life wasted, but it wasn't really wasted, because of course you learned through that process. And maybe you lost a friend or two, but maybe you also picked up a couple of friends along the way, some new colleagues along the way, some new resources along the way. And you realize, like, damn, that business failed, but now I got more resources, more people in my life. Now I can start a new business the very next day. I don't have to wait, another 3 months. I don't have to wait another 6 months to start a new business. Like, that business failed on a Monday. On Tuesday, I want you to be starting a new business. Like, get back up and just get back out there immediately with the new resources that you have, with the new clients and the new mindset that you have. Just go back and start again. And it's the same thing in business, it's the same thing in life, it's the same thing in relationships. And just to compare it to relationships, again, like, a lot of people, they think once they lose that first girl, their first girlfriend, they think they're never going to be able to love again. They think that they're never going to be able to get over it. They have this scarcity mindset. That was the only girl for me. That was the only business for me. That was the only job for me. And once you're able to hack your brain and start thinking in abundance, you realize, like, the world is ever changing. All right, there's new opportunities every single day. There's new people every single day that you're going to meet and that you will meet, assuming that you can hack your brain into abundance. So every day you wake up, go outside, get a breath of fresh air, and go out with purpose of meeting people, of looking for opportunities, right? The world today is much different than it was yesterday, all right? And the world from yesterday is much different than the world from last week. Every single day, there's new businesses being started. Every single day, there's new opportunities, new problems that need to be solved. Every single day, there's new people meeting each other. The world really is just naturally abundant. So when you start living life with this sort of scarcity mentality, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because every setback, every failure, you take it so personal, and it's such a big hit to yourself and to your ego that it takes forever for you to get back on the wagon and get back and attack life. It's the reps that are actually going to carry you further. Do not stop at one setback. Do not stop at one failure. Have this mindset where, if you get a failure, if you get a setback, you're just going to keep going, like, the very next day. All right? Like, learn from it and, understand what went wrong. That way you actually can learn from it, and, it's not as big of a failure, especially if you learn something. It's not as big of a failure. And so, Be thankful for the rejection. Be thankful for the failures, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you evolve. And so now you can go into that next business, that next relationship, or that next chapter of your life with a new mindset, with new knowledge, with new people, new resources. All right, so understand that, and remember that the world is ever evolving. The world is naturally abundant, so formulate that mindset. Hack your brain into understanding that you are an abundant person. Hello. And you're gonna get way more out of life that way. All right, I'll catch you.